Pokemon Go players? Welcome back to the Purified podcast. Where we play Pokemon Go. And today is February 15th, 2022. I am your co-host, Pokemon Trigger Please, with my co-host, Luis Palacios, also known as Pure Lighter. How you doing, man?
After 100 episodes, you would think that you know how to make an intro,
Nah.
How's it going, everybody? I am the host, as Chris has mentioned, Luis Palacios. My co-host, Chris. It's right here, ready to go. Man, oh man, we gotta work on that, brother. We gotta have to work on that. Every 5 episodes, I'm gonna make you do it. There you go. How about that? Well, we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. How you doing, my friend Chris?
It's been a nice, lazy day and a great week, honestly. I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. A lot of stuff, cool stuff happening around the area, things like that. I am tired, y'all. No lie, I am tired. Like, my head is about to explode, so... We're gonna get through this podcast one way or another. Sorry we're so late in the podcast, in the live feeds or anything, because, Valentine's Day was yesterday, and the day before that was
Valentine's Day and Super Bowl.
And Super Bowl. So technically, we both had priorities. One of them was love. One of them was a ball. So, anyways, but yeah, okay. I love your phrases, Chris. Like, seriously. But yeah, so far everything's good. I just want to make sure that we are hearing ourselves here. But you guys can hear us, right? And people say that I can't hear you. That is not our fault, unfortunately. It looks like everything working well on our side. Anyhow, we're here to review some things here. Don't forget that we are part of the Professor Network. Check us out, professornetwork.com/purified podcasts. Chris doesn't have half of the green screen in, so that works for me, I guess. Anyhow, yeah, wonderful people to work with. If you haven't listened to our 100 episode podcast, what are you doing? Go ahead and listen to it. We had them on the podcast, and it was amazing, fun, hilarious, and definitely something to remember.
It was awesome, man.
We're on episode 101. That means that we are ready to go on season 2. Actually, not whatever other season we got to go into, but you know what I mean. But yeah. I'm happy. Tired, but happy. I guess that's how it works. But, all right. Enough ranting, Chris. Let's get into what we got this week and a half, since it's almost Wednesday.
All right. It has been very uneventful for me, other than, the calm day. I'd say the most exciting thing I got was a 98 Registeel, 14 attack. But it's got Zap Cannon, so it can do some fun stuff. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I wanted, was a good IV'd one. Honestly, though, I definitely was trying to get the shiny.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I wasn't really actively rating it or anything. I got a couple of raids in through raid hours, so it's not bad. I just doesn't feel like I need to. I can just go ahead and LTM the move anyways if I needed to anyways.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, especially if one you already have ready to go. I wouldn't mind the hunt, though, because I know that Master League has some good niches in there for sure. So, I'm sorry, not Master League, but Ultra League. But yeah.
Yeah, and in Ultra League, he's a monster.
Yeah, so that's why I wasn't like super content with rating it at the end of the day. But it is what it is. So no shinies or hunters there for you. Just the PvP one.
No, it's been very hard, Lewis.
Yeah, well, we both are in the same situation where we're just not even caring about the game half the time. But anyways. All right, so before Come Day, I did get 2 shinies and 2 shinies after Community Day. The first one was Magikarp. Randomly click on it during the Love event, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Valentine's Day event. Shiny Magikarp. I did get also a shiny Chansey, so I'm happy about those. I got 18 shiny Hoppets from the Community Day, of course. And I also got another Chansey before the event ended. And also a Shadow Bagon shiny from Arlo.
And
Thank you.
Biggin was a new one for you, right?
Yes, I've been actually been
Okay.
actively hunting him. Like I didn't want to do anything but Arlo in the last few times, so that's what I feel. It's been one of like the ones that I really wanted. It's not even bad IVs. It's at 11, 10, 10. So just the bare set base. I could purify it, but why should I if I already have other shinies anyways? Shadow,
Yeah.
shadow. Gotta love it. I like it. I like it. But yeah, so as for Hondos, after our last podcast, I definitely get a few. Most notably, the Fletchland, the Hatch on the 31st. Already got that. I did get a Litleo female, unfortunately, from a field research. And
Ooh.
Jumpluff. Well, actually, Jumpluff. A Hoppit from Community Day. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Oh, a 97 IV Vega. Nice. Purify that stuff. You know what I mean. If I go over the rail, I'm sorry, my head is just all over the place right now, so that's why I'm like no to it when it comes to it. Maybe because I'll let Chris talk through all of it. However, we do have an event that came and went. We would have been able to talk about it if we had our normal schedule time, but unfortunately that didn't go through. We're just gonna go over it because it's done and done so, which is the Valentine's Day event, and of course all its glory. Flabebe being a very new Pokemon into the game, and collection challenges and way more stuff. So the debuts of Flabebe, Floette, and Florges has come into Pokemon Go. Chris, how are you thinking that this Pokemon is good or not?
From what I've been hearing, it's a god in Master League. Mostly the Premier, where legendaries aren't, a thing. Other than that, I don't know. Its typing is unique. It's a fairy grass, correct? So it's a Whimsicott, pretty much, right?
I think so.
Let me just double check. I'm
No, it's just
fairly certain.
it's just a pure fairy.
Oh, just pure fairy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that typing definitely is a very strong typing fairy. Only being weak to steel and poison. And don't get me wrong, steel is definitely very prevalent in Master League, but poison is not a very common typing once you get out of Ultra League.
Yeah.
Or even Great League, it definitely diminishes a lot. Other than like a Alolan Muck.
Or
So
Nidoqueen.
very strong. Hmm?
Nidoqueen.
Yeah, Nidoqueen's kind of niche though, in my opinion. Especially out of Ultra League. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's very strong. I don't know if it's going to be a game changer, but definitely exciting addition.
Right.
I was definitely very excited to see this Pokemon get
Yeah.
added.
I'm okay with that. Now, there is some things that we need to know when it comes to this regional, well, not regional, but technically regional Pokemon added in the wild. However, the event bonuses was, of course, 2 times duration, lore duration, so technically just an hour worth of lore module duration. I can't even talk today. Body Pokemon will bring your items more often, and 2 times catch candy. There was a global Valentine's Day challenge where if we send over 70,000 or 70 million gifts throughout the goal, we will get a bonus of 3 times transfer candy, which was actually quite nice in that regard. We got it done literally within the 24-hour mark, so we had literally the entire event to take advantage of it, so we did. We also have a new form of Forfro, the Heartring Forfro. If you didn't get the chance to actually turn this Pokemon into a pink Pokemon, that was your chance. Even though Furfur is not literally nothing to go about it, unless you really wanted the ability. But it's just that, nothing much. Just a cosmetic. Drowsy's here. Cosmetic change. Anyways, collection challenge will be 2 Valentine's Day team collection challenge that were able to give us both male and female Frillish, which I'm pretty sure you finished, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, pretty simple and easy. Special attacks for both Galate and Gardevoir. The community today moves Pokemon for that Synchronoise was available for any raids you do, any evolutions you do, so or any wild spawns you find. So yes, there is was that, which in a way, Synchronous is not really a good a really good new Pokemon. Sorry for not being able to speak today, guys. But yeah, it's something simple as that. You know, it's still, if you wanted to be a completionist, I'm pretty sure you wanted that move. Wild encounters, we had Chansey, Blossom, Minun, Bulby, Illumise, Love Disc, Woobat, Red Flower Flabebe, Blue Flower, Yellow Flower, and then the natural form of Furfrou. If you're lucky, you get the orange or the white Flower Flabebe, Audino, Milton, and Alomomola. Any of those that stand out to you throughout the event there, Chris?
I definitely like seeing Volbeat because they switch back and forth every few months. It feels like. Um,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any Audinos this whole time.
Really? I saw quite a
Um,
few.
yeah, I just um, I don't know. I didn't get lucky enough, I guess, but I can't lie. I wasn't on 24/7.
Yeah.
I did see a few Alamomola. I definitely saw a lot of Miltank. So I tried getting that shiny, but no luck there. Um, yeah, very nice spawns. I really like these Pokemon.
Yeah, very good.
Um,
We had, of course, our 1 stars. We have Milton, Roselia, Dino, and Furfrou. 3 stars, we had Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Lickitung, Gardevoir, and Gallade. Our 5 stars, of course, Registeel with the special move Sap Cannon, just like Chris has mentioned, and Mega Houndoom for Mega Raids. Few Rich Stack, we had the ability to get Pikachu, Eevee, Loftus, and Rawl. Some of them were a lot more harder than others. If you're lucky, you can find ones for Frillish, both male, female, Alomomola, and Spinda with a heart pattern. But of course, if you get the shiny, it's a broken heart. So that's actually pretty fun when you want to
I
count
love
it.
that one.
I know, right? New Avatar stickers bundles. Of course, we had the Flabebe line, some stickers. But something that I forgot to mention throughout the announcement is that Flabebe and its natural colors were going to only spawn in different parts of the world. Now, we had both white and orange flower Flabebe that were spawning all around the world. However, I think red Flabebe was in the European region, blue Flabebe was in the Asian Pacific region, and the yellow Flabebe was ourselves in the American region. So if you really wanted to complete the whole family, you needed to go to all those places, and they were not going to make it put it in raids. So even though they would have made a lot of money anyways. So what's the difference? But yeah, that was the Valentine's Day event. It came and went. Yesterday was the last day. We took advantage of all the bonuses. That was pretty nice. Chris, any thoughts on this event? Any rating on this event?
I definitely liked. I like it when they give us a challenge that we can complete very fast.
Right.
So I definitely give that a high rating just for that. It was pretty hilarious, honestly, because we got it at the beginning. We still had the triple transfer, or I think was it double transfer or triple transfer candy?
Triple transfer candy.
Triple, yeah. Both of those were going on at the same time. I noticed for a
Yeah.
very short amount of time. So I was loading up on Flabebe candy.
Oh, yeah.
So for that alone, I have to give it a pretty high rating. I would give it at least an 8, but I'd say an 8.5 to be safe.
I want to say the same.
Because yeah, it was very fun. I definitely thought the bonuses were what really made this event, though. I will say, very good Pokemon for getting Stardust. Between Audino and a few of the other ones. But I just didn't get that lucky, so I'm a little salty. But I'll definitely give it an 8.5.
I want to say yes. I want to give it the same rating for the reason that the event itself was actually pretty good in spawns, pretty good in things. New Pokemons, a ton of shiny hunting to do. Raids again could have been maybe a little bit better, but I did a couple of Gallades because I won the Hondo anyways. And then after that, maybe if they would have put in Xerneas instead of Registeel, that would have made it just a tiny little bit better because it is a fairy type Pokemon and I guess it just represents life. That would have been, a little bit better in that regard. But, that's my own wishful thinking in the end of the day. So, yeah, I want to say an 8.5 max. Nothing more than that for that reason. But, yeah, definitely we took advantage of this This bonus is this special event. So yeah. Any more recaps on community day? Did you do anything else there, Chris?
I got the short end of the stick, and I had to work all the Super Bowl weekend.
Ooh.
So because of that, I actually worked pretty much the entirety of the hop up event. But I was lucky enough, I could log in here and there. I was lucky enough that the first one I clicked on during the event was a shiny, so I, could wipe the sweat off my brow,
Whew.
not have to grind too hard. Um, but after work, I was able to get two more. So I did get the three shinies I wanted. I evolved a pretty decent one for PvP.
Nice.
Not a good one for Master League, but you know, if I need to, I'll Elite TM it, or sorry, Ultra League most likely,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah, it does not get up there. Um, yeah,
imagine
I def
imagine a jump bluff in the Master League though.
Dude, I think if somebody saw it, they just laugh their way into letting you win.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's for sure. So again, it wasn't that bad. I also only I worked half of the event. By the time I got there, it was like 2:30 to 45. I only played that 2 hours and a half. I got as many shinies as I could. We got Hondo, not too bad in its glory. So definitely an okay event. It could have been better, but not the entire world was not out there for it. It just most likely just Gold Plus half the Pokemons anyway. So although the Stardust was nice, I'm actually at 8.9 right now in Stardust, getting closer and closer to the 10. How about you, Chris?
I dropped a bit when I built a few Pokemon for PvP to help my buddies. But I'm at about 8.3 right now.
Okay, all right. So we're getting there. Just gotta get to that 10. That 10 is
Yeah. Once I get above 10, I'm trying to keep it there.
yeah, same here. That's for sure. So keep in mind that's how things went, and that's how community day. If everybody had some interesting community day stories, just let us know. We are open in social media and Twitch and everywhere else.
I
So
got 300 shinies.
I'm done with you. Anyways, so let's talk about our research topics of the week and a half, actually. So, Deoxys is back in raids. Well, as the recording of this podcast is still Tuesday, December 15th. I'm sorry, February 15th.
Man, we've time traveled.
I know, right? Between the past and the future, one of the two. Anyhow, we're playing too much Arceus, that's for sure. The Access is back in raids right now. As I record this podcast, it is out in the Asia Pacific region, Australia.
Ooh.
So they are back. Normal form, the Access is back in raids. Shiny is available, of course. I wouldn't do too many of them just for it. Just if you can get the shiny, it'll be a one and done. Just because normal form, the Access isn't really that valuable in a lot of different places. So I recommend just doing a one and done. The one that we definitely need to do, and we don't explicitly enough say, is defend form the access, which will be coming within the week or so after recording the podcast. It should be there for I believe the next raid hour, not this one, but the next one. Because I think
It's either the second or the third one. I cannot remember though. I
right.
know it wasn't the last though.
Yeah, no, we know that much. So again, keep in mind, just keep it.
Dude, I'm super excited for the Deoxys raid hour though. Your letter, are you muted?
Okay, yeah, I guess I was. You would have told me by this point, right?
I was like listening back on Twitch. I was like, That's not just me, is it? It's all good. That'll be a
Uh,
funny moment of silence.
where do you last heard me after the yawn?
Right, yeah, right when the yawn happened. Yeah.
Okay, so as I was saying, and I guess you saw me just move my mouth at that point. If you want to go ahead and do the access, go ahead and go for it. However, defense form the access will be the one that we need to take care of. Make sure you have a good team. Make sure you have good people out there because that thing can destroy you and lose your raid pass if you don't have enough counters. Not just on your team, but as many people as you need.
Yeah, he's chunky, chunky.
He's too chunky.
I'm actually checking right now if you have the shiny of one, because we've already got. Oh no! You have to get the shiny for each one in the decks.
Yes.
They make you.
Yes. It is like
Oh, gee.
Giratina at this point.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So
That's actually a very interesting addition. They really want their money making abilities up there. So yeah, if you want to fill it in the decks, get each one. We've already had the normal form, so you had a chance to get the shiny before. If you didn't get it, by all means, get it now.
yes.
Um, I may try to get all of them then, if that's the case. But
Like I
definitely
said,
the defense one, I'm gonna grind the heck out of that one. I
get that
want to
extra
get
large
PvP
candy. At least you
ones.
can actually like compile the extra large candies, so it's not too
Yeah,
bad in that regard. So
yeah, 4 for 1,
as
or
yeah,
1 for 4. I don't know.
4 for 1 for 4 different forms for one extra large candy. So or at least 3 each time. So if you really want to grind the extra large candy, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start off right now. Get the extra large candies whenever you can. Don't go super nuts, of course, on the first few forms until you get the Access Defense form. You can even solo attack form if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. Like, just remember, guys, you can't trade Deoxys.
Yes,
So, so you have to get your own.
fair point. Fair point. Fair point. I have a friend who actually is doing still doing Registeel, and I'm pretty sure that he hasn't had the shiny after like 20 of them already. So I'm like, okay,
Oh,
welcome to the grind of Pokemon Go players, my friend, where you never get
hopefully
the
one of the
shiny.
last ones he gets one.
Probably, you never know. We'll see. Anyhow, that is the access, of course. Then we have a quick. I can't say nothing anymore. A quick announcement from the Pokemon Go company, Niantic. We are now know the dates for the next 3 months of community days. Chris, can you name off the dates, please?
All right, all right, all right. Okay. The next dates, mark your calendars. Sunday, March 13th, 2022. Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. And then Saturday, May 21st, 2022. I do like that they alternate between Sunday and Saturday. I think that's
Yeah.
a nice touch.
Yeah, I like, and it having community day on a Saturday is not a bad thing, but now everybody can at least plan. They give it us
Yeah.
a good month between this community day and the next community day. They haven't announced what Pokemons they are though, but we do know at least the dates. So now people are welcoming this type of quick announcement from them saying, get ready, get your dates up, get your things up. It's time to grind this next few ones. Hey, if they're giving us this date so early, I would just presume that all these are going to be like really relevant Pokemons in the meta. So,
Either that or maybe people are just complaining a lot or something.
I
I'm
mean
not sure.
that makes sense too because when sometimes when they announce things, they're like, oh, we're like 2 weeks in. I'm like, what the freak?
Yeah, yeah. That's a week away. How am I supposed to ask off from work?
I already did.
Um,
It's like I already did. The Saturdays for April and 20 and May, I was like, I already did. Like, just give me that Saturday. I'll work any other Saturday. I don't care. Just give me that Saturday. So, not a bad announcement. Thank you, Niantic, for giving us a heads up. I hope that we get more news when it comes to the actual Pokemons in there. I hope that we actually get that Sunday. That could be Dino at that point, just because it feels like it.
yeah, I don't remember. Oh shoot, yeah, I really don't remember.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, what was the last pseudo legendary we had?
Gibble.
Gable was the last pseudo legendary. Dear
Yeah,
lord.
yeah. In all
Um,
this glory, Gibble was the last one because we had repeat community days, we had EV community day, we had all of that way before the holiday started, and then we had crappy ones since the beginning of the year. So
yeah, it's either time for the pseudo legendary or the next starter.
yeah, it just seems that way, especially because we're technically already in 2022. Not technically, we are in 2022. Um, um, and we're getting closer and closer for the summer, which is only a few months away, and that means GoFest is gonna be a thing soon. We still haven't seen or heard or even like they haven't said anything about Generation 7 even coming into the game. And the Alolan form, not just the forms, but the Alolan forms are a thing. But Alolan Pokemon, they were teased in the last year's image of GoFest, so we know that they're coming. We just don't know when. And it's been kind of like a weird in between kind of thing that like the status quo when it comes to releasing Pokemons has definitely slowed down a lot. I kind of don't hate that every other event is probably having a new Pokemon introduced, especially Generation 6, that we're missing a lot of Pokemon still, but it's taking so long to release them. We're to the point where I feel like it's time to do a massed release of, or another wave of Gen 6, maybe another wave of Gen 5, because we're still missing some there. But I think it's time to give us a little bit of insight to what Generation 7 could bring us to this. And we don't know. We don't know how it's gonna go, or if it's even going to start this year at this point. Any thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind as soon as you say that is the fact that, we just got a new Decidueye in the newest games in the Hisuian region.
Right.
So as soon as they release that, people are already going to be preparing for that.
Yes.
I don't think that Niantic has that planned as some kind of, big event to tie them together. I don't think that's a plan. But
I mean, the
yeah, I
only
didn't even
titan we
think that
had,
Gen 7 was in there.
yeah, the only titan we had was the Legend of Season, or I'm sorry, the Season of Heritage, opening the
Yeah.
door, giving us the Hisuian Bolter. It just seems weird, and in the end of the day, I don't hate it, but I'm more like I wish there was some kind of grand event to be able to introduce something like this. Um, in a concept of talking when it comes to like news and releases on Pokemon itself, like Pokemon proper. Releasing Arceus was never. I was never thought that we're gonna have something like this at the beginning of the year. That we're just gonna all grind and love for as much as we are doing it right now. So the success of that game itself just seems off balancing how the timeline of Pokemon is these days. And don't get me, I mean, I could go on and on when it comes to like new generations, new things, new introductions to other things like, the TCG, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Masters, Unite. All those things can bring in Pokemons from that new region without breaking a sweat. But it's just how the timeline goes. Now, if we go into the TCG, Hisu and Pokemons are coming. We don't know which. We know a few of them. We don't know if all of them are going to be part of the TCG at this point. I know they will eventually. They just they're not releasing all of it at once, and they're taking their time to be able to release the TCG at that point. When it comes to Masters or even Unite, those games can definitely bring in the type of story wise when it comes to those characters and to those Pokemons itself. They just need a good time to go about it. And then when it comes to Pokemon Go, which is our biggest game and the one that we discuss around here, it just seems that we're the type of game that can easily implement those type of Pokemons only with a good lore behind it. So I don't foresee that we're gonna see them anytime soon. But if how I'm thinking they're gonna be doing, especially with the Pokemon proper announcements in the coming days, plus Pokemon Day only a few weeks away, probably a week away at this point. It just seems interesting to know that maybe all the games are gonna compile how the Hisui region is going to play out from here on out until the next generation, until the next type of big game that they come out with at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, don't they have Pokemon Go championships at, Worlds right now?
Yes, although the Orlando one got canceled.
Yeah, yeah, we were really disappointed on that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think a lot of people, might, say, "Oh, isn't Pokemon Go dead?" Even though it's still getting,
yeah,
10,000 plus, new players every day.
yes.
Um, so don't think this game is out and done. They're definitely doing new stuff every day. They're definitely improving the game as much as they can. It's still fun for me at least.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they do in the next coming year. And yeah, I think the main thing people get excited about is new Pokemon. So I think just the fact they've been slowing down on that is a little bit frustrating,
Yeah.
but I think the main reason is COVID for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's still a lot of different things when it comes to the pandemic itself. Even though
yeah,
at this point it doesn't feel like we're still in a pandemic, there hasn't been an announcement that it has ended. So it means that people or companies are still going to do whatever they can to keep the players safe. Even if it means going back to regular things, even if it means going back to lockdown modes or anything like that, people are still scared, and with good reasoning in the end of the day. So in that being case, of course, we can rant on whenever we want more about how Hisui in Gen 6 or Gen 7 or anything in those things can really be implemented into Pokemon Go for that regard. But we will be here for 3 to 4 hours if that's the case, because we'll be talking too much.
dude, it's just like a really fun Pokemon they added, honestly.
Yeah, definitely, definitely a good fresh of air that we needed for the Pokemon series itself. So, with that being said, let's go into our last piece of news. How about that? There
All right, all
is.
right.
How about you take this one, Chris?
Yo, they added Apex Legends to Pokemon Go. What am I talking about? Well, they added Apex Shadow Lugia and Apex Shadow Ho-Oh have been revealed. What the heck are these,
Oh
man?
my god. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about story. If you guys know, we've been in this whole search about the mysterious store in the Season of Heritage. Professor Willow, the leaders, they all wanted to open it up. Tingo Rocket, of course, did its part, took whatever was inside, and now is planning something devious. So, by using the stolen power that was locked away behind the mysterious door, Arlo has created a powerful Apex Shadow Lugia and Apex Shadow Ho-Ho. Now is the time to take action, trainers. Gather up supplies and get ready to save those powerful Shadow Pokémon from Tico Rocket's grasp. And of course, the story goes on and on. We can follow it up in one of the blog posts and everything. So, the Pokemon Go Tour Johto ticket exclusive Master World research encounters. So the ticket holders who complete the Go Tour Johto special research will unlock a new Master World research line, which is designed to be completed over a period of a long time. That means that it's not going to be something that you need to finish at the day of the event. You don't have to play the 12 hours to be able to do it. Take your time to rest and things like that. Play the day, but don't just, super grind for it. You will have to be able to actually do this over the courses of the next few days, few months. We don't know. By the progressing through the Master World research, trainers can encounter these legendary Shadow Pokemons, Apex Shadow Ho-Ho and Apex Shadow Lugia, give off an aura that has never been seen before. Moreover, when purified, that aura seems to change.
Aura.
Aura. Anyway, ticket holders will be able to obtain both Apex Shadow Lugia and Apex Shadow Ho-Ho, regardless of which version of this they select during the Go Tour Johto. So, if you get the ticket, you will have access to both the Shadow Ho-Ho and the Shadow Lugia. I'm not gonna keep saying Apex because that just seems dumb. So what is the changes on this? We have their moveset. So Ho-Ho, or at least Shadow Ho-Ho, will have their Sacred Fire Plus, a stronger version of Sacred Fire, which will do 130 power in trainer battles, and it will have 135 power in gym and raids.
Hmm.
But then if you purify the Ho-Ho, you are able to get a Sacred Fire plus plus. Okay. Trainer battles will have an 130 power just like regularly, and gyms and raids will have an 155 power when purified. Now, Chris, before we move on to Lugia, what do you think about this power creep that they're doing for gyms and raids on the Shadow and Purified versions?
You know, us being the Purified podcast, I think it's very fitting.
Hey, yeah, I know, right? They're listening to
um,
us.
it's been quite some time since they've had an event, or really anything, where they've actually given you a benefit per se for purifying a Pokemon other than its IVs raising.
Right.
Because 9 out of 10 times, you'd usually prefer to keep it a Shadow, because its attack was higher. Like even with the IV difference, it would still do more attack as a Shadow.
Right.
Especially being a Shadow Honda, obviously though.
Definitely.
But I do think this is very, very cool. It definitely benefits people for purifying them more. Even though in the trainer battles, it's still going to do the same amount of damage both ways. For people that want to raid and they want to, solo or duo things, Sacred Fire plus plus on a Genesect, dude. This is gonna be insane. I'm very excited to see what people can do with this.
I'm also happy that you said, I don't know why you say Genesect instead of Ho-Ho.
Because they're gonna be using Sacred Fire on Genesect.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you mean like when raiding and things like that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So, the ability to be able to actually choose between a power creep, between a Shadow and a Purify, it's actually welcoming. Now, we always go about how Purified Pokemons have no disregard about just getting Hondos in the game, because Shadow Pokemons are just that strong and that more powerful than anything else. So, yes, we are the Purified podcast. However, we are also very prominent PvP players, so we want to actually keep the Shadow Pokemons as it is. But this just seems interesting. Now, of course, it will not affect trainer battles. It will not affect any PvP between the Shadow or the Purify one. It will stay the same regardless of what you do with it. But if you already have something new, because we already have Shadow Ho-Ho in the game, and some of us have already got it, either do whatever you feel like doing with the Pokemon. I'm not saying just go ahead and purify them. If you get a Hondo, purify them. If you get a Hondo, Shadow. So,
Yeah.
make sure you tweet at us. That'll be fun, though.
Yeah, the Purified podcast does not condone keeping Pokemon Shadows unless it's for PvP gain. But
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, moving on from Ho-Ho, we have, of course, our Shadow Lugia, or I guess Ipex Shadow Lugia, which, of course, will have Aeroblast Plus when it is Shadow. Will have 170 power in trainer battles and 200 power in gyms and raids. However, though, if you purify it, Aeroblast Plus Plus will have a 225 power in gym and raids. Whoo-wee! That's some power creep right there, brother.
Bro.
Just crazy to hear that Aeroblast is going to have such a potent ability when it comes down to it. I really do hope that their new forms, both Shadow and Purify, give us a little bit better graphics when it comes to it, or just like I don't want to see that white cloud when it's purified anymore. Like I want to see more to it in the end of the day. As for the Shadow, of course, when they were announcing this whole thing and they did tease out like the cry of Lugia and what they were doing with it, I was this close to believing that they actually did it, that they could have made it at this point. And I was hoping that, of course, they were going to give us the XD Gale Darkness Shadow Lugia at this point, which it would have been this close. Just this
Dude, now
close.
they're just teasing you at this point.
Dude, I literally would have actually like screamed through the entire internet. Because I don't think I would have like not calmed down from that. So, but yeah, it was just this close to it. However, I don't think that's going to be the case unless they surprised us. But we don't know. We don't yet.
Yeah, I don't think so just on the graphics they're giving us. Something I am thinking though is wasn't it Pokemon Go was it Pokemon Go Fest or was it Pokemon Kanto that they gave us the Shadow Mewtwo for?
It
Was
was.
it was Pokemon Go Fest,
It
right?
was Golfest. Yeah, I think it was 2020 Golfest.
Depending on how they give us the Lugia and Ho-Oh, I'm curious if they give it to us the same way as the Shadow Mewtwo, and it has, the 10-10-10 base, since it is an Apex, right?
Right.
So they might give it to us like, oh, this guy's extra strong.
Hmm.
He's got no chance of being low IVs.
Right.
So that would definitely benefit you for purifying it if it's already going to be extra high IVs too.
That's
So
true.
I am excited to see that.
Yeah, it's a welcome addition again. So I'm kind of glad to see that maybe something like this will trickle down to other Shadow legendaries out there. I just hope that they do more than just the regular Gen 1 and 2 because at this point we're kind of getting tired of the same ones.
Could they even do Apex Shadow Mewtwo? Is that fair?
it, I mean, it would if we get Mega Mewtwo or Mega Mewtwo Y or X, then
Apex Purified Mewtwo Y.
oh my
Dear
god.
Lord.
Can you imagine if they ever add that with the Mega? I can just see us soloing every Pokemon we ever see in our entire lives from
Just
here.
one shots everything with a
That's what I'm
confusion.
saying, dude.
Some stupid.
Not even
like that.
confusion, just Side Strike. But that maybe Side Strike plus plus or whatever it's called. Anyways,
Yeah.
so like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. I don't know. It really depends when we go about it, and we'll definitely feel like once we actually get to that point. So go to our detailed summary. So again, different versions will give you different types of Pokemons. So it says right here, Attracted to Incest will have Spinarak, Gligar, Teddiursa, and Mantine to the Gold version. And the increased chance of shiny will be a lot of them. The starters, Spinarak, Igglybuff, Natu. Oh, so Igglybuff is going to be spawning out of instance. That's pretty
What
cool.
in the world?
Oh my god. That's actually pretty cool. I don't think is this the first time we get a baby Pokemon outside of X?
No. It doesn't say incense
It says
for that one.
it says have an increased chance of encountering this shiny Pokemon. So if you're lucky, you might get a shiny Mantine for the first time in Pokemon Go. They don't say anything about eggs.
I'm really nervous about the way they worded it, but that is the only baby. And I know Pichu and a few other babies were added this gen, so that's interesting.
So again, Igglybuff, Natu, Hoppets, Sunken, Mischievous, Wobbuffet, Gligar, Shuckle, Teddiursa, Swinub, Mantine, and Ho-Ho. Mantine being, of course, the brand new shiny for us in this version. If you're in the silver version, you get Ladybug, Delibird, Skarmory, and Fanfi attracted to Incest. And the increased shiny Pokemon that you can actually obtain for this. Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Ladybug, Cleffa in the silver version. Sudowoodo, Hoppet, Jamna, Pineapple, Delibird, Skarmory, Houndour, Fansby, Miltank, Larvitar, and Lugia. So, again, the baby Pokemon is there. I don't know if it's just the eggs, but we'll continue on. Let's read on more to what we have here. Either take a version, regardless of the version you select, will have the same experience when it comes to Goto or Johto. Pokemon originally discovered in the Johto region. All Pokemon discovered in the region will appear in the wild. Will be in raids. Will appear in encounters and research. Will be attacked with insect and hatch from eggs. Will be available via trading with friends or be obtainable via evolution during this time. All Pokemon discovered in the Johto region will appear as a shiny Pokemon. Will be appearing as shiny Pokemon. Shiny Pokemon appearing for the first time in Pokemon Go include Girafarig, Corsola, Remoraid, Mantine, only in Gold version, Fanfi, only in Silver version, and Tyrogue. This includes the feature unknown Pokemon's unknowns, I guess. Jortu, which will attack into instance. In addition, you will most likely encounter certain shiny Pokemons in the wild depending on the event version you select. Check out the information below. Event exclusive special research, though, which will actually lead to an encounter with both a shiny Gyarados and a Celebi. Yes, shiny Gyarados means as a guarantee shiny Gyarados. So you will be getting that, and of course Celebi with Magical Leaf, which is really weird in the power level. But that's a fast move, right? Yeah, that's a fast move.
Yeah. You'll be able to fast TM. Elite fast TM it off of your Celebes that you had before. I don't think you'd be able to just fast TM it off. I think you do have to catch it.
Right.
But yeah, just know it is available after that event.
Right. We also have Abaton rewards like the Ho-Ho wins, the Lugia mask, the Ho-Ho and Lugia t-shirts, depending on the version you get. And of course, you have to complete the research for that. Collection challenge. I'm sure the collection challenge means to actually catch every single one of the Gen 2 Pokemon. So that's 100 Pokemon you gotta catch. Specifically, catch, evolve, hatch, whatever the case may be. Or even raids, which I want to say this right now. Make sure you prioritize your raids more than anything else because it may take you longer to finish up the collection challenge if you don't get those raids out of the way first.
In my opinion, it's definitely a lot harder to find people to raid, especially the legendaries that you need for the collection challenge.
Correct.
After the fact.
Yeah, so Raikou, Suicune, Entei, Ho-Ho, and Lugia are the most legendary 5-star raids that you want to do. So just be careful when you get to those points. And then bonuses. So we have berry Pokemon attracted to insects. Eggs will require 1/4 of their normal hatch distance. Earn twice the candy for hatching eggs. You'll get exclusive in-game medal for the community event. If you actually go into the game right now and choose your gameplay, you do get your medal for it, which I do now. Got my silver medal. 2022. Chris hasn't even bought the ticket.
I just bought it at the beginning of the podcast, I promise.
You'll be able to get special stickers by spinning Pokestops and purchasing an in-game shop. A free bundle containing free remote raid passes will be available in the shop. You get up to 9 free passes by spinning photos disc at gyms. You earn extra candy when catching featuring Pokemon originally discovered in Johto and take a snapshot for a surprise. So very, very much a lot of bonuses. I kind of wish they gave us like an XP bonus and a Stardust bonus. But that's just what people thinking. We already have a lot going on in this event anyways. For non-ticket holders. So if people are not buying the ticket, and don't get me wrong, that makes sense. If you don't want to play it, if you don't have the time to play it, you still are able to log in and get some features out of the event. Some Pokemon originally discovered in Johto appear in the wild, in raids, hatching from 7kx. Raids includes Entei, Suicune, Raikou, Lugia, and Ho-Ho. There are no special attacks between Aeroblast and Sacred Fire. Heracross and Corsola, which both usually appear only in certain regions in the world, will also appear in raids worldwide. So we now have confirmation that Heracross and Corsola are appearing in raids only. Now, of course, if you're in the area that we know we are, we will be getting both. Unfortunately, I won't be there, so you're going to have to send me some raids, brother.
I got you.
Pichu, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Togepi, Tyrox, Mushroom, Elekid, and Magby will be hatching from 2km eggs. So there's our confirmation that the Pokemons that we're going to have for each version will be hatching only in eggs. So that means the baby Pokemons are not appearing in the wild. Too bad.
That's going to be rough, though, because you need them for the collection challenge, right?
We'll see how a collection challenge works. It's interesting because this is the first time we have technically the egg pool that needs to be really affect the way that we play the game. So, or at least this one of the stores.
So the next thing, I would almost focus on them when we talk about it.
Yeah. 2km eggs are gonna be the your prize possession this turn, and with the bonuses included, so that's not bad. You'll be able to complete up to 6 special traits during the event. Too bad I won't be around. Lucky friends around. 5 rotating habitats. You'll be able to listen to special background music composed by Pokemon music producer Junichi Masuda, which I'm very happy to hear every single time. You'll be able to complete the time research related to trainer battles, and Eevee will not have a walking requirement when evolved to Espeon or Umbreon until 11 p.m. local time. So, Johto is starting to see more popularity coming out. We're getting more information. This whole story when it comes to the season of heritage and the apex Pokemon seems a little bit weird, but I guess they make sense if they want to tie it into that point. I don't know what else they could really do at this point.
Very strange.
Right?
Which one are you getting, by the way?
Uh,
Gold or silver?
Silver.
Silver. Okay. Yeah, I think silver probably has a better selection.
I mean,
Uh,
you
I
put
would.
Lugia and Larvitar in one area, and I'm already there. So
Oh, jeez.
I know,
Oh
I
man.
know. I won't pressure you to go to goal. I'm trying to look into a community of where I'm gonna be during that time, so maybe I'll get a couple of trade-ins when it comes down to it.
Yeah, because I don't know. The only reason, in my opinion, to go gold is if you really care about Mantine.
Or ho ho.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love Shuckle to death. I don't need another shiny Shuckle.
Right.
I don't.
Uh,
As cool as he is.
right.
So yeah, I may go silver too, honestly.
Yeah. So get your Pokeballs ready, incubators ready, Ray passes ready. Start stacking up as much as you can because this event seems to be a good event overall. And you never know. You never know. Unfortunately, I won't be in my usual area to play it. So I'll definitely send you rays from for where I'm going.
Yay!
But yeah, that's Gotor, Apex Pokemon. Interesting to say that's how they named it. I wouldn't mind if they just call it XD, but but yeah,
More XD.
all right, XD. All right, let's get into some PvP. Good, get wreck. Here we go, Chris.
All right, all right, all right.
So GBL, Love Cup, and Master League are active. Any gameplay there, Chris?
The only Love Cup I've seen is some by my teammates in Switch Masters.
Right.
Helmamola is a force to be reckoned with. You got your Crustle, you got some fun stuff. It's I don't know. Whenever you got cups like this, it's so strange because in Sylph, you're able to see your opponent's team and you're able to change your lead based on what their team is. In GBL, you're kind of just dependent on luck a lot of the time. In Master League, I'm just bad at Master League, so it's rough.
Right. Right. Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, not much, not too much to say. I don't think Love Cup changed too much, other than I think you might be able to play Flow Baby in there. Probably not though. Let me just double check on PV Pokey to see if there's any weird rankings.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I do not remember Talonflame being that high. To be honest. But yeah, it's a lot of the same rankings I remember. Alamamola is always going to be at the top, number 3, because there's 3 fire Pokemon in the top, a little bit. So you always are going to have to watch out for those. Lickitung is a force to be reckoned with. So if you're not able to take out a Lickitung with, any of your Pokemon, you're just screwed. It's that simple.
Right.
But yeah, Master League is always same old Master League.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting to say the least. Master League. I don't know. At this point, I haven't done any GBLs, but to say the least, we still are having powerful Pokemons in the Master League. I believe it is Master League, Premier Classic, and the regular Master League. So
Wow.
the Premier Classic, of course, doesn't include legendary Pokemon. So that's interesting to say. And of course, level 40 Pokemons are also limited to that point. So we got things like Garchomp and Dragonite and all those Pokemons out there. Zacian has been doing some waves, but only in the regular Master League, not in the Premier Classic. But if you go Premier and go Zacian, good luck with that. But yeah, so far Master League still the same old power creep out there. So if you got the Stardust, do it. If not, good luck. And then, of course, fraction updates or faction updates. Here we go, Chris.
Yeah. We actually did very well this last week. I believe we are currently at a 2-1. Because last week we were able to win against. I'm just double checking their name to make sure I'm saying it right. Here it is, the Red Rock Wreckers. So two of my teammates were able to get a 3-0 very
dang.
early on. Loudmouth 53 and False Water Cobra.
Right?
They were able to get a 3-0 super early on, and literally all of my teammates were able to get 1 point. So very early on, or more. Sorry, let me add that, or more. So nobody was able to get swept. They did a very strong sitting, and then I was the last person to battle. They had already gotten 11 points, and I was like, okay, my turn. And I was able to go 2-1. It was a very close battle for every single one of them.
Nice.
My opponent was very, very strong. But yeah, we ended up winning with a 13-8. So one of our stronger standings, honestly. But yeah, we're doing fairly well this league at a 2-1 right now. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going, and we're fighting the Queen Bees this week.
All right.
So it looks to be fun.
You gotta get best Queen.
I gotta fight them with the Vespiquen, fight them with their own Pokemon, their own mascot.
That would be hilarious at that point. But yeah, thank you for that, and congratulations for another good week for you guys.
Thank you.
Alrighty. With that being said, I believe that is the end of the podcast, Chris. There's nothing else to cover. I do want to mention, of course, that next week's podcast will be scheduled as normal. However, I don't believe we'll have as many news since we're covering it a little bit late in the week this week. So we may, if not, go a little bit deep dive into Legend Arceus and how that game has taken over our lives entirely. So if, Chris, you're good with that, I think we're good to wrap up today's podcast. One last announcement, though, before we do end, is that on the very first, the last weekend, the weekend of the Gold Tour Pit, I actually won't be here, just like I've been saying it throughout the whole podcast. So we will not have a podcast for that weekend specifically. I have a lot of family stuff to do, so we'll be taking a break. Definitely something that we need either way after 100 episodes. So we'll be taking a break that week. We'll come back full force, talk about our experiences and everything else that we need when it comes to the Gold Tour and any other announcement for the March one. Hopefully we'll get announcements before that weekend. So there's going to be a lot to cover for sure. So be ready the week after that. Anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you like what you listen to, make sure you listen us to our podcast services feeds, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, many other places. We have our social media, Pure Let It Go, Pokemon Trigger Please, PMPK, you know what it is. purifiedpodcast@gmail.com for any information you wanna give us through, of course. We don't mind fan email, trust me, it will be amazing. And then, of course, you can check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. Chris, go ahead and take us away for the night.
All right. Okay. Hope you guys are super excited, just like we are, for the Pokemon Go Johto tour. Let us know. Are you picking gold or silver? It honestly looks like silver is going to be the way better choice. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, hope you guys have a very fun rest of the week until we see you again next time. And yeah, keep grinding, keep getting them shinies, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Keep purifying them, guys, and those Apex Pokemons. See you guys next time.